So what it is, man, we are out right now for another episode of the Undisputed GOAT podcast, man. A lot of playoff chaos going on, and we will be rejoined in a moment by our great friend, our number one guy from Madison, Georgia, BRF. But for now, I have the famous panel with me, and guess what? I'm the Undisputed Champ live from Columbus, Georgia, and I have my main man from this frozen tundra of Wisconsin with me, Flash 22. What's going on, brother?
Hi. I just want to point out that this still is a thing. We shall forever be the Texans'
You gotta
daddy.
put that back on there. You gotta put that back on there.
Hold on. There.
Damn.
It doesn't matter the coach. It doesn't matter the quarterback. It doesn't matter the decade. We are just still the Texans' daddy. We just are.
Damn.
As much as everything changes, stuff just stays the same. So
damn.
There we go. That's
damn.
what I do. Shout out to my friend Steve, who his soul has been crushed. I'd have to look at the record with the Patriots versus the Texans, but the amount of soul crushing defeats that the Patriots have handed that organization is
asinine.
Yeah. So this year, this is my only gloating when it came to me and him messaging each other. I was not as evil as I have been in past years. This was more of a tip the cat and good game, but I still have to, because this hoodie he bought. So yeah. Anywho, that's my intro for tonight.
BRF.
I am 0 for 3 this weekend, bro. I'm not doing good at all, and I need the Rams to win this game. Like I've not had a good weekend picking games this weekend. I have not.
Damn, I understand that, but it's been a lot of chaos this playoff weekend, man. A lot of chaos, man. Particularly in Buffalo, where that was a heartbreaking loss at this point, man, because when you think about it, everybody was saying that this was the clearest path to the Super Bowl that Josh Allen was ever going to have. Now, to Cam Newton's point, like he said, there are new demons that are going to that arose, that being the Denver Broncos defense and Bo Nix, who unfortunately got a bone broken in his ankle and I thought it was fake news, to be honest with you.
I did too.
I thought it was fake.
Yeah, until Schefter actually tweeted it, because I get his notifications for his tweets. I thought it was fake too until I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, it's real.
Yeah, I thought it was fake news. Shout out to PSP, by the way, man. But yeah, I thought that was fake news. But that was one of the punitive victory, what they like to call it. But a punitive victory. But yeah, sometimes when you win, in the great words like on that movie White Man Can't Jump, it says sometimes when you win, you actually lose. One of those things like that. But we're gonna get into that a little bit later. But look, the biggest controversy of the playoffs thus far was that catch, or lack thereof at the end. So I gotta ask y'all this first before I ask y'all anything. Who's to blame for that loss? Was it the refs or was it the turnovers?
The turnovers. Pure and simple. It was the turnovers. Richard Sherman tweeted out on why it was a catch. And then somebody beneath him in his tweet pointed out the fact that if you take away the corner in that whole situation, it's an incomplete pass because he doesn't hold on to the football. He just doesn't. He doesn't complete the catch. And the current rules, what are the current rules, that he doesn't complete the process of the catch. So you can freeze frame it all you want, Bills fans. And look, I am heartbroken for you Bills fans. I really am. Josh Allen is one of those athletes that is almost impossible to hate, even as a Patriots fan. Like, you can't hate him. He's so, like, he's got that what the kids say, golden retriever energy. Like, he's just he's a good dude. Like, he's fun to watch. He's married to a knockout in Haley Steinfeld. Like, and he's just a great player. But if we're going to hold Lamar Jackson to a certain standard, we're going to hold Josh Allen to the same standard. Now, you are at the point now where you've had multiple You've had multiple chances. Now you ran into Mahomes and you couldn't get past it. And now there's no Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson. You are the clear-cut guy in this AFC field as and when it comes to quarterbacks. You're supposedly the second to third best quarterback in the league, and you can't turn the ball over 4 times. You just can't. I'm sorry. And if you're going to be that guy, then you just can't do that. So this goes to the point of what I've said about Lamar Jackson. You can get all the regular season MVPs you want. You can sit here and you can do spin moves and do flashy stuff and look like the most talented thing to ever walk on a football field. But if you suck ass when it comes to the playoffs, Bart Starr said it best. Like, it's easy to play well when it doesn't mean anything. But when it means everything and you can't play well, that's really something to think about. What are your thoughts, BRF?
I mean, I'm echoing every sentiment you have. I mean, there's just really no other way around it. I mean, we can't. I mean, there's really not a lot for me to add. We can't get on Lamar Jackson for his playoff woes and not being able to get to the big game, not being able to get to the Super Bowl, and then we try to let Josh Allen have every excuse in the book. And I feel like a lot of fans have done that for him. Like in all of his playoff appearances, you cannot excuse what happened yesterday.
No.
You see 25 or 39 for 273 yards or 3 touchdowns. You're thinking like, oh man, he played a hell of a game. He played a horrible game.
For Josh Allen standards, yes.
From Josh Allen standards, yes, he played a horrible game. You just can't look at that stat line and just assume he played a great game. When you watch that game and you dig into it and you really pull the context from it, 4 turnovers, including I don't know what the hell that was at the end of the first half that allowed Denver to get another field goal and give them a 10-point lead going into halftime. I don't know what the heck that was. That was inexcusable from a guy of his standard, what he expects out of himself, what fans expect out of him, to hold the ball that carelessly like that and just basically give Denver 3 points going into the half. That was inexcusable. And yeah, and I kind of commented on like one of my mutuals on IG. I commented on this video, and it was like, you can't put this game in the hands of the referees. You can't do that. You cannot do that. And that's Buffalo did that. I mean, even with all the turnovers, Buffalo had a 27-24 lead late in the game and let Bo Nix do them up. They let Bo Nix practically. I don't want to say. Bo Nix pretty much had his way with them. That defense, like the majority of that game, like he was playing outstanding football. Some of the throws he was making, like just Bo. I don't know what the heck happened to Bo Nix last night. I guess he woke up on the right side of the bed, had a good meal. The breakfast was on point. I don't know what was going on with Bo Nix yesterday, but he was on point that game. He was on point. I don't know what he did. We ain't gonna go in them directions, but whatever he did, it worked because Bo Nix had himself a game, and it's a shame that the Broncos aren't gonna have him for the AFC Championship game. It's a flat out shame, and I think they finally narrowed down the play. It was the second down play. It was the quarterback run where they took him down, and you could kind of see where they got his ankle. Some people were thinking it might have been the kneel down play. It wasn't the kneel down play. It was the play before that long completion to Marvin Mims that pretty much all but clinched the game for him. And it's a shame that they're not going to have him for the AFC Championship game. But with that being said, Josh Allen, whatever smoke you get this week from all the media outlets and from the pundits and from the analysts like us who are on IG who watch this for fun, who watch this to analyze, whatever smoke you get this week is justified. Is flat out justified. You don't play like you did in that game and just expect people to let you off the hook. Just no, not this week. We cannot excuse what you did yesterday. We can't do it.
I do want to point out that he went into that press conference right after the game and said it was his fault.
Took every bit of accountability.
That's accountability, and
yes.
and so again, it goes to the point of why everybody adores him.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit of devil's advocate though on the excuses part. I'm not saying that the blame isn't deserved towards Josh Allen. It definitely is, but I think part of it was, all the games that he played against Mahomes. It just seemed like Buffalo ran out of time, or Kansas City got one of those phantom Kansas City ref calls, and I think that's why people gave him excuses. Where Lamar Jackson kind of has consistently played poorly, where this is kind of the first game where Josh Allen has really played really poorly that I can remember. Now I could be wrong on that, but again, not an excuse. But at the same time, the result is still the same. So now we're at this point where we got to are we questioning Mike McDermott? Are we questioning? I'm not saying you move on from Josh Allen. That's just insane and silly. But what do you do going in the offseason? I saw one commentator, or I saw one TikTok creators say that the Buffalo Bills need the number one wide receiver. I
They
disagree.
do.
I disagree. I think the number one overall wide receiver thing is a completely overrated thing over the years when it comes. I don't think you need a number one wide receiver when it comes to winning a Super Bowl. I think you improve the offensive line. I think you improve that defense, because that's exactly what kind of got them in trouble. I don't think it's lack of talent in wide receiver. I think it's you literally shore it up on the offensive line and the defense, and I think that team is again right back in the hunt.
Where I disagree with you is Keon Coleman was drafted to take that mantle, and he hasn't done it.
That's fair, but
That's where I kind of disagree. They drafted Keon Coleman to do that. Ultimately, you're gonna have not necessarily get like one of these like just flashy number one wide receivers. He needs someone to eventually be his go-to guy. He's and the thing is, he had it with Stephon Diggs, but the problem with Stephon Diggs is he didn't necessarily always show up in clutch time situations either. But he's going to need someone eventually. Khalil Shakir is a good wide receiver for his role. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, they are really good. They are good tight ends. Dalton Kincaid. I mean, I remember when they drafted Dawson Knox, and they were talking about how talented Dawson Knox was, and the next thing you know, they draft Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid is better than Dawson Knox. So it's like it's one of those crazy things. But ultimately, he needs a go-to guy on the outside, even if it's not a number one. He needs like
if you want to draft somebody, but I mean, honestly, like I'm not going out in the first round and drafting a wide receiver.
But no. I'm not saying draft the first round, but they need no. I'm not saying.
I mean, if he lasts that long, does he last?
I don't think Cornell Tate does not get out of the top 10. He's that good. Cornell Tate doesn't get out. No, he don't get out. But my thing is still is though. He has no one like throw it up, game on the line in the end zone, 50-50 ball. He's got none of that. And I don't trust Keon Coleman for that.
But that's the thing though. Like how many of those guys are out there? And here's I hear that problem all the time. Up here in Wisconsin, I've heard it for years. Well, Rodgers never had a number one guy. We never went in the first round and drafted a wide receiver. And they finally did, and look where it got them. Nowhere. They would have been better off drafting an offensive lineman.
Respectfully, Matthew Golden had the best game out of all the wide receivers. I mean, he can't help they blew the lead. That wasn't his fault.
I'm not saying he might not be good, but I'll tell you right now, like a quality offensive lineman that would have helped the running game and everything else would have gone a lot further than him. I just think, I'm not saying that you can't go get him more talent at the skills positions, but I think the priorities are, and I like what PSP said, like the O-line and the defensive line. Allen can spread the ball because you have Cook and him when it comes to throwing the ball, and being able to completely use the whole range. And I'm talking about width of the field between the two of them, just because of Josh Allen's running talent.
I still ultimately feel you need a quick strike, deep threat guy at some point. You're going to need it.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to interject in this. To Flash's point, at a certain point, you as a number one quarterback, you have to be a kingmaker, not a person who depends on kings. When you look at Patrick Mahomes, he's a kingmaker. After he lost Tyreek Hill, his greatest downhill threat, McCall, after he lost the Legion of Zoom, one of the fastest, receiving corps in the world, Rashid Rice, he was a kingmaker with Rashid Rice. Nobody knew who Rashid Rice was. In fact, he dropped to the second round because of character issues. And he was able to go out there and do his thing with those guys. He lost pieces every single year and was still able to maintain a high level. So at some point, eventually, you have to be a kingmaker. When you look at the last couple Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes, none of those guys were true number ones. His main number one target was his tight end.
And
Now, do you go out there and possibly now there was a rumor going around that Tyreek Hill said, "Hey, since we all asked for trades, take me home," and many people anticipated that that may be for him to come to Atlanta or back to Kansas City. I don't know which one. But do you go out there and trade for Tyreek Hill,
I
who's
don't think
been
you do right
known
now.
what wait, what's that?
I don't think
Who's
you do
been
right now.
known to have, team chemistry issues? Do you go out there and trade for AJ Brown, who's been known to have team chemistry issues? So to Flash's point, you already had the leading rusher in the league this year. It's time for you to be a kingmaker at this point. And we can't have it both ways. We can't say that he doesn't have help. That's the reason why he's one of the greatest in the league. But when it's time for you to be a kingmaker, then we want to fall back on, yeah, he needs the number one receiver. We can't have it both ways. We can't be hey man, you can't be a movie star and then, want to hang out at brothels.
I get
That's just the thing.
that
So at
now.
one
Now
point,
I feel you on that. I feel you on that point. But it's like I said, that's why they drafted Keon Coleman, and he ain't doing it.
no, I
yeah,
know, but
I mean, I get the kingmaker thing, but that boy has had plenty of opportunities in the 2 years of someone he's been there, and he ain't done it.
yeah, because he has character issues. Same thing with Rashid Rice. But at the same time, look what Patrick Mahomes has been able to do with it.
Oh, I'm not letting
And
Josh
even
Allen off the hook like
well,
that.
I
I
mean,
don't know. God,
now
no.
now to play a little bit of devil's advocate on Mahomes, like those his skill position guys are starting to dry up, and it's not going as well as it used to.
yeah.
So
So
Oh,
and
you
his
it's
know,
wasn't
offensive
going well
line
in the
was.
last Super Bowl they went to, if you really want me to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, I
You
agree with
know,
that. But this year, I counted more along the lines of his offensive line was garbage.
yeah, but it's been garbage for years.
Not like this year.
I,
Not like this year. They
I
were
don't know,
really
dude.
bad.
I remember that Super Bowl against Tampa Bay, and they just, I mean,
But
that.
Tampa Bay's defensive line was like that. Let's give them some credit.
Well,
They were
I agree, but
they
the
were like
here
that.
was
And I don't want to give them the whole, their bookend tackles were hurt. I think they could have started in Tampa Bay. I think still would have done work. Tampa Bay was like that in terms of pass rush this year. I give them credit on that one.
that year. Yeah, they were. No, that defense was a lot. It was like when you look back on like really good defenses of the last decade, like a lot that defense will get slept on. But I just I don't. I'm not saying you can't use a guy. I'm just saying I would shore up the rest of the team. But at the same time, like he's just got like he can't turn the ball over. I mean that's kind of been the theme of the weekend.
yeah,
Can't turn the ball over.
yeah, the turnover weekend.
Yeah, this has
I
been the theme
mean,
of the weekend. You can't turn the ball over. The two things that I have seen that have gotten teams in trouble are turn the ball over and third and long. And I don't know. I'm quite surprised. Now I'm not saying Denver is a bad team, and I don't. They're the number one seed, obviously, but I was actually quite surprised how Buffalo played yesterday. I really thought they would kind of handle business. I really did, and I didn't think. No, I didn't think Bo Nix would, play that well, and he did. I was, I've been wrong a lot during during this year when it comes to football, and I don't know, man. What do you do? Do you stick with Scott McDermott? Do you move on from him?
I
Do you,
don't
I mean,
I don't think
McDermott
I
is
don't think
not
you
on the
fire him.
field throwing interceptions.
I don't think you
And
fire him. Yeah.
the
If
thing is,
they
the defense
Oh
kept them
no, go
in it
ahead,
as
Champ. I'm
long as
sorry.
they could. And the defense kept them in it as long as they could. And who the hell are you going to get if you fire Sean McDermott at this point? Who are you going to get? I mean, if you bring in a new offensive coordinator, I mean, this team has been close. much like he's been a poor man's defensive version of Kyle Shanahan. But you got to ask yourself this: who are you going to get at this point? Who's going to come in and immediately give them credibility? Are you going to, because the top dogs have already been hired, unless you're Buffalo and you go out on a limb and get Tomlin and bring him in.
No, you'd
I
go.
mean,
If you're gonna do anything, you would go get like Kubiak or something.
you know, yeah, or somebody like that. But I'm gonna just be real. All of the best available coaches, if you really want me to be honest, they're already gone, except for Kubiak.
Yeah, you
So,
got Robert Saleh, depending on how you feel about him.
I
I
think he's
mean,
going. I
yes,
think he's
but
going to. Can I be honest with you with Robert Saleh? I think he's going to Tennessee.
if I'm him, I'm going to Pittsburgh.
I would too, but I don't know.
I'm not going to another sorry ass team just to get fired in 3 years.
He could
If
go to
I'm
Pittsburgh
Robert
and get
Saleh,
fired in 3 years. To be honest with you,
I don't at this point now. I would probably, unless you take the Atlanta. Oh no, that was taken by
Yeah,
Stefanski.
Stefanski.
Honestly, if I'm Saleh, I sit out another year, and because I don't like the rest of the teams. Because to me, Pittsburgh is at the point where like you got to blow it all up.
yeah.
I think we're at that point. You're going to be that forever NBA 8 seed, and unless you can go get a quarterback like a top flight one, but like that's an aging roster. I'd have to look at like the oldest rosters, but I think they're like at least in the top half. See.
Hey, DSP had a good point right here.
Yeah,
Baltimore.
they're the second oldest team in the league. They go to where?
Baltimore.
Oh, that would be okay. That would be a good fit. I forgot Baltimore.
That would be a good fit.
That would be a good fit. I didn't think of that.
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Brian Flores. I think that would be a good fit because the main thing that hurt them this year was defense. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. You know what the funny thing is I don't think Flores gets a job this year. I think he gets a job next year.
Okay, that's fair.
Nothing against Flores. Unless Flores gets. Did he interview with Baltimore too, or no?
No, I haven't seen that. I saw Mike McDaniel. He was the last guy I saw to get the interview with Baltimore.
Because if and to my point, like right now, like I'm not going to Pittsburgh. They're the second oldest roster in the league, and
they don't have a quarterback, and you're probably going to be a bridge coach.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I just don't. You're probably going to want to trade T.J. Watt and get whatever you can. Like again, I just think it's time for Pittsburgh to kind of blow it up. And I don't think that franchise would be down long anyways, because that's such a quality franchise and a quality structure. That's been a quality franchise for 50 some years. So it's not like they're 50 almost 60 years.
The way a lot of these reports are looking, look out for Brian Flores going to Pittsburgh. He's getting his second in-person interview.
Well, then that might be a good fit for him, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I don't.
Yes, he did. They did an interview with Brian Flores. Thanks, Dwayne.
Okay. That may I guess. I don't know. I mean, if he goes to Pittsburgh, I guess. Then what's your plan at court? Like, if you're Pittsburgh, what's your plan at quarterback?
I mean, you got to trade up at this point. You got to go Carmelo and risk it all at a certain point. You have to, because, and the thing is, this quarterback class, you got to ask yourself, who's the guy that stands out?
Hell, give Will Howard a shot.
I mean, who's the guy that you tried that?
Yeah. I like that idea even better.
No, you didn't try that. Give Will Howard a shot. Give him a legit shot as the third. You drafted him in the 4th round. I mean, that's not like a bad round to get drafted in as an offensive skill player. Give him a shot. If you're not trusting Aaron Rodgers, give Will. I mean, if he's and it's low risk too, because he's a 4th round draft pick. If he don't work, then by all means go in the draft.
I mean, but do you go into next season as that's your number one guy? That's what you do?
I mean, who? I mean, unless you go out and sign someone in free agency. I mean, what other choices do you have?
I mean,
You got Mac
either that or
Jones.
go get Malik Willis.
That's why I said if you don't go out and sign someone, what other choices do you have?
This quarterback
Like, is
draft
Mac
this
Jones
year.
really going to be an upgrade from an aging Aaron Rodgers? Like, I feel like this is such a last move. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Mac Jones played really well this year, but like, does he make them a Super Bowl contender?
God, no, he
No,
doesn't.
he doesn't. That was pure coaching. You got to bring an offensive coach. That's why I come out saying wherever he goes, I think the first thing that needs to happen is that they need to bring in Mike McDaniel. Whoever because Mike McDaniel, he wants the San Francisco offense. So
Yeah, if
so
you're Brian Flores, then if you take that Pittsburgh job, you better get a great OC in
yeah, because that defense is not going to. Because defense, you see, eventually, defense runs out. I mean, you got to
there.
have
And
a quarterback in order to win these games.
to PSP's point, I know Aaron may retire because apparently he was really upset about Tomlin stepping down, like he cried about it. But if they hire Flores, I could see him playing for Flores.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't. It's just me, just kind of like I could see him playing for him,
Okay.
depending on the OC he gets.
All right. Staying on the Josh Allen subject, has the Super Bowl window closed at this point? Because now, look, let's just be real. The AFC after this year, with everybody getting healthy and coming back, it's going to be crowded as hell. It's going to be crowded as hell. And not just that, it's a question of if you're going to be able to own your own division anymore. Now that the Patriots gave everybody a break for a few years and said, "Okay, motherfuckers, I'm back now." So let's just being real.
No,
Patriots gave everybody a chance to. They gave
and
everybody a chance to eat a little bit. Y'all done ate. You got
yep,
your belly full.
that's
Now I'm
cute.
back. So
So, I also want to point, and I it's not even just the Super Bowl window, but to your point, the division window. Because this is the thing I pointed out like a couple months ago when the Patriots started to I was like, oh my god, are they ready already? Is Drake May is 23, Josh McDaniels is still in his 40s, and Mike Vrabel I think is he's only 50,
Yeah,
and Josh McDaniels is basically he's gonna be another Norv Turner. He's not gonna get another head coaching job. Nobody's gonna hire him. So he's literally just be the offensive coordinator for the next 15 years. Do you know what kind of advantage that is for Drake May
yeah,
and Vrabel?
yeah,
Like and on top of it, nobody thought that this team would be this ready this year.
yeah.
I didn't. The only one that kind of said that they would be like somewhat ready is BRF, to your credit. But now they're however this plays out the rest of the postseason. Let's say they either they lose next week or they lose in the Super Bowl or they win or whatever. They win in the Super Bowl. Now you go into like they have draft ammo, they have cap space. Like they can go and add more talent. Not to mention, I also want to point out Drake May is only 23 and Tevion Henderson's a rookie.
mm-hmm.
So you go and add a little bit more to that offensive line. You go and add a little bit more to an already really, really good defense. You go throw another wide receiver for Drake May besides Stephon Diggs. Ugh.
Right now,
Like,
they're stated to have. Right now, the New England Patriots. I just looked it up. They are stated to have. Hold on, let me go back to it. They are stated to at least have around 30 to 60 million in cap space.
If the
yeah.
if the Patriots win the if the Patriots win the Super Bowl this year, the league is screwed for the next 5 years.
And then, but that just
The
goes.
league
But
is
that
the league is
also,
screwed the next 5 years, and the reason why I say if the Patriots win the Super Bowl this year, the league is screwed the next 5 years. If they win the Super Bowl this year, you're bringing up the cap space. They have draft capital to be able to add, and then they're going to have money to be able to go out and sign players. You know how it was when Tom Brady was in New England, when every freaking high profile free agent wanted to go, is going to go right back to what that was if they win the Super Bowl this year. And with the notoriety that franchise already has, if the Patriots win the Super Bowl this year, the league could be screwed for the next 5 years. At the very least, the AFC. at the very least, the AFC is screwed for the next 5 years.
Yeah, and that just goes back, and we're going to get into that a little bit later. PSP. That's one of the topics of the shows later.
I just want to point out too, though, is that to BRS' point that the league is screwed, is that culture now still exists from the Belichick and Brady era.
Yeah,
bringing in like thank you. I said this in the chat. Thank God for the Titans being absolutely stupid and letting Vrabel go. You literally took somebody that was a New England who a lot of people say was on Belichick's level, football IQ coach wise. You brought him in New England. You keep Josh McDaniels. You still have that culture there. You still have the crafts, and don't be surprised if Drake May does the thing where he does the Brady thing and takes less just to win. It's a culture there. And so BRF point, y'all better pray.
You better pray they don't win the Super Bowl this year. Y'all pray the New England Patriots don't win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah. And like I said, it's a question, getting back to the Josh Allen Super Bowl window, you're not going to be able to own that division anymore because now you have a coach just as good as you are, and now you have a comparable quarterback competition as well. I mean, you got that because you're not going to be able to own that division. Part of getting to the Super Bowl, a lot of the times, is winning your division. Not to mention, Lamar will be back next year. Joe Burrow will be back next year. Patrick Mahomes will be back next year. So you are going to have to contend with a lot of other these teams. And not to mention, look, Bo Nix is going to be back next year. A lot of these great teams that made the playoffs and were able to get to make deep playoff runs, they're going to be back this year. It's not just going to be the usual suspects anymore. It's not just going to be a four-man race in the AFC with you, Lamar, and as much as people don't want to acknowledge it, you still have to contend. You have to wonder when Justin Herbert is going to go through that maturation process at a certain point and get him a playoff win. So you got to ask yourself, if you're Josh Allen, if you didn't win this year, when are you going to? Like I stated, everybody's coming back next year. Patriots are going to be in your own division next year. Then you have to worry about, if the Indianapolis Colts are ever going to get themselves together. Then you have to worry about. Then you have to worry about the AFC South. If Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to duplicate a lot of things with Liam Cohen, so the AFC South has gotten better, not just on the offensive side, but on the defensive side of the ball. So you have a lot more to worry about. You got, all in all, you got damn near, versus you had 4 teams at the beginning of your career to worry about. You got damn near 8 right now.
Let's see. You have okay. So you got okay. So let's look at Buffalo. Okay, you got your biggest threat, which is obviously New England in the AFC East. AFC North, Baltimore should be back. Look, we could talk all we want to about Pittsburgh. They're not going on anywhere. Cincinnati's not going anywhere. In the South, every team except Tennessee in the South. So that's 3 more teams. And in the West is every team except the Raiders. So that's like what? That's 10 teams. That's 11 teams. That's 11 teams you got to worry about.
This is going to sound crazy, and I don't think they can pull it off. But if the Jets just add a quarterback, now that's
I don't think they're that. I don't think they're that. I don't think they. In great words for the New Yorkers, I don't think they like that no more because you got to think about this. They lost 2 of their primary defensive players.
They're coming back though, but they're coming,
and they lost Sauce Gardner.
Yeah,
true. But at the same time though, I am a fan of Jermaine Johnson. I'm a fan of him, and they still have that talent on that offensive side of the ball. Yeah, I don't think the Jets are as far away as people think they are. They just need the right quarterback and the right culture there to really kind of get them a kick in the butt.
That's my point. Is I'm not saying they're like even a playoff contender, but you put a decent quarterback in that position, like they'll be frisky.
Yeah, they'll be one of those. They'll be one of those like.
It's not a cakewalk.
Yeah, exactly. They're like one of those 7 and 10, 8 and 9 teams that can like just float until the end. Might not make the playoffs, but they can steal some wins from some playoff teams.
And But at the same time, though, I'm not sold on Aaron Glenn right now. I'm just not. I don't. I need to see. I know there's been this, the Rodgers thing happened, yeah, but I need to see a little bit more. Like they were like they should have been at least a little bit better than what they were this year. And they were
Agreed.
Yes,
they were
indeed.
terrible. So I no hate on Aaron Glenn, but I need to see more as a head coach. Like I don't right now. I'm not a believer.
You know what? This is the part of the show that I haven't done in a while. Because this is a part where I fuck up this show with
Uh,
a pipe bomb.
Here it come.
Here it come. Time for me to fuck up this show because I'm gonna go back to not letting us have a good show. I'm finna go back to that. We're finna get back to this shit. What would everybody say if Josh Allen said, "Look, I'm not. This is about as far as I could go here. I want to go to Minnesota."
I mean, if you're Buffalo, you
Thank
just
you.
say
Number
no.
one, I'm gonna pay homage to the person who gave me this idea, PSP.
I don't.
If I'm Buffalo,
What if he says that? Look, this is as far as I can go. Send my ass to Minnesota.
here's the tricky part. If I'm Buffalo, if I'm sending you Josh Allen, you're giving me Justin Jefferson back. You're not gonna keep him. You're giving me Justin Jefferson for him. You ain't gonna have your cake and eat it too. So
I don't.
So throw that idea out the window because
And
Minnesota
if I'm
ain't going for
Josh
that.
Allen right now, and if I'm Josh Allen, as daunting as the Patriots look right now, that NFC North division looks way harsher.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't want to go to Minnesota.
I would not want to. Yeah, when Chicago. I mean, all four. Yeah, like those Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay.
Yeah,
They're gonna be
I'm
around.
not-
They're gonna be around for years. So
like the only
thing is
team you got to compete with in your own division is New England right now. So like I don't go anywhere near the Minnesota Vikings right now if I'm Josh Allen. Like
No.
if I'm
So
if he were to be like again, this is I don't even think this is a hot take. This is just a hypothetical of like if he all of a sudden, which I don't think he would, but if you're Josh Allen at all, there's only one team that's not in the conference. I don't even know if they have the draft capital to pull it off or what they'd have to give up. There's only one team that I would probably go to, and that's Atlanta.
and I don't think, and they don't have like they don't have
the cap
they don't
space.
have
They
they don't have the they don't have the 26 capital right now, and
Nope.
I don't think teams are patient enough to want to take a full
By
class
Buffalo,
a
you'd have to
year or two
blow
down
up.
the road.
That's the thing, though. If you're Buffalo, then you're blowing up the whole thing. Like you
You're
are
starting over.
firing McDermott tomorrow. You are trading like it's not just a like it's a because I that's the thing. Like he's not going to get. No, he's not going to go to the Giants.
No.
He's not going to go Carolina. He's not going to go to Tampa Bay. He's not going to want to get traded to New Orleans. Seattle's fine. The Rams are fine. The Niners have their guy. He's not going to want to go to Arizona. Like again, we already covered the AFC North, and Buffalo's not going to trade him within the conference.
Nope.
Yeah.
So there's the only one option that I could see that would be worth it for him to go to that he could win a ring would be Atlanta. The division is soft enough. Tampa Bay, isn't they're good, but they're not that great. Carolina's on the rise, but they still need more talent around Bryce Young. Even though I really like the way they play, they're not going to go and trade him to Pittsburgh or Cleveland or something like that. That's a court, like Pittsburgh. Like they're not going to go and trade him there. They're not going to trade him to Indy. If you're Buffalo, you're going to go to like if we're just talking like what Buffalo should do. That's a that's a different conversation. What do you do if you're Buffalo? Like if you're Buffalo, do you go and do you go to the Raiders and say, "Sup? How you doing?" What do you do? Do you do that? Do you go to the Raiders? Like the Raiders are like are again, I'm not saying they would trade him within the conference, but I mean,
Do you but here's the thing though, and it's something I've noticed with franchises. It's like when they're like at their lowest, the right quarterback, and then 2 years they're back. Do you risk that with the Raiders?
Oh,
I got a question to ask real quick. If you're Minnesota, right, or if you're Buffalo, even, and you go and I come to you with this trade, you're Buffalo, right, and I come to you with this trade. I'm gonna come to you with this trade. Here's what I'll do. I will trade you 2 first rounder and TJ Hawkinson. And as an added bonus, I'll throw in Dallas Turner.
no. Here's look. Buffalo says no. They're going into a new stadium.
For
Make
all pro tight end,
make
Dallas
TJ
Turner, 2 first
make
round picks.
make TJ Hawkinson Jordan Addison, and then we can talk business. Make TJ Hawkinson Jordan Addison, then we talk business.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Buffalo went, let's say, like at the draft, like traded Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills. You talk about the Mavericks fans being pissed when they traded Luka.
That'll be a whole nother level.
The Bills Mafia already
they'll burn that bitch down.
Yeah, they already do fire table.
Hey, I got a word for what they will feel.
Yeah,
as
burn that bitch down.
mad as Dallas was when Nico Harrison just traded Luka in like a thief in the night. The level of pistivity that will be going on in Buffalo if Josh Allen got dealt.
You don't go and trade a top 3 quarterback.
He's top 2 in my eyes.
I'm not saying he's 2 or 3. I'm just saying like top 3 if you want to give Lamar that nod or whatever, whatever. But if you're what's up? If you are Buffalo, you go into a new stadium with the top 2, 3 quarterback in the league. You just don't do that.
Absolutely.
I mean, you just don't do that. So there's all this like talk that we're doing. It ain't happening unless
if they offer me a big old trade like that, you offer me 2 first rounders, Hawkinson and Dallas Turner. That's 3 cornerstones I can work with.
I mean, if you're Minnesota, you make the call.
I'll even throw in a 7th round pick just to intrigue you.
I'm with Flash though. I think with a new stadium on the horizon,
they are mad right now.
You don't touch it with a 20-foot pole.
No, you trade Josh Allen. It's Luka level. Like as beloved as Luka was in Dallas, that's how beloved Josh Allen is in Buffalo.
Exactly.
It would be like all the shit that's going on in Minnesota right now. That's what the riots would be like. Like people would just start. It would be awful. And now, don't get me wrong. There are. If I'm teams, I'm making a phone call. If I'm Atlanta, I'm making a phone call. If I'm Minnesota, I'm making a phone call. I'm not saying you don't make a phone call if you're the other teams, and if you're Minnesota, you go like, "Hey, what's up? Like, will you at least listen to what I have to offer?" Like you absolutely do. If you're not doing that, you're a terribly run franchise. I'm not saying Buffalo even picks up the phone. They probably won't. Or if as soon as they heard that, they just go click. But
mofo, don't you ever call my house with this with this noise.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you do make the phone call. So but again, this is all hypothetical, and there's no way that this isn't the NBA where like you have a shady commissioner and your ratings are suffering, and all of a sudden you got to trade a top 3 star to a souring big city franchise. This isn't this isn't that situation. So I don't see it happening.
Okay.
Plus, if you're as much as I love my Patriots and I love the situation that we have right now, it's not like Buffalo is going to be terrible next year.
No, they won't.
They still. Looking at, let's see, they have a middle of the league age roster wise. I'd have to look at their salary cap right now.
I'll have a look at it. I have the salary caps and everything up during the shows, guys. Buffalo Bills.
Like going into 2026, oh, they'll be in a little bit of trouble. But
What site do you go to, Champ? Do you go to Spotrac for salary cap stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
That's what I know. Because that's
I
what I
go
know.
to over the cap.
Yeah,
Over
they nasty. Now they ain't New Orleans Saints nasty, but you know they ain't.
Yeah,
But
they're
they
not
over the cap. By how
But-
much? By how much are they negative?
About 3
11.
3 million.
Okay,
no,
so
it's-
yeah, it's not
it's-
New Orleans Saints cap hell, but you can't do nothing.
Yeah,
It's
we
11, depending on if it's pre June cuts. If it's still 11
okay.
with post June cuts.
I'm trying to pay attention to the game as well. See
Boy,
what's
did you
going
see
on.
that throw Caleb Williams just made?
Yeah, I saw that. They
Got first and goal right now with only 5 minutes left.
Yeah, it's gonna be a dog fight now.
Oh, I expected this.
Yeah. Quick question. Speaking of your New England Patriots, is Drake made their Steve Young or Aaron Rodgers to succeed a legend?
I think it's Aaron Rodgers because he's so young.
Okay.
Steve Young was already. I'd have to look at how old he was. I think he was in his early 30s already when he took over in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong on that.
I believe he was too.
I think he was like,
the youngest he could have been would have been his late 20s, but I think he was already in his 30s.
I think he was like 31 or 32. I could be wrong.
I didn't realize until later on in life. You know, he has a law degree.
For BYU.
He has a law degree. Yeah, I'm like, damn, how the hell did you find time to play in the NFL or go to law school? So, but I really think that they didn't mess up this draft. Sometimes it's time for a change. That's how come when you see a lot of these teams going out and getting new coaches, even after they won Super Bowls, sometimes it's time for a change. Sometimes, things run its course. I mean, hell, it ran its course twice with Phil Jackson in the NBA. Ran its course once in Chicago and then twice in LA. Ran its course 3 times. It's only so long. It's only so long that you can beat certain drums before it's just like, hey, it's time to make a change.
Yeah. So when Steve Young won, 94 was the year the 49ers won the Super Bowl. That was his age 33 season.
He was 33.
1992. He was 31 years. When he took over from Montana, pretty much full time, which was 1992. He was 31 years old.
They knocked the hell out of him.
Yeah. The Super Bowl season was his age 33 year.
Yeah. So he's Rodgers level. Hold on, this is fourth down.
Yeah, they.
Nope, game over. Well, they still got 3 minutes left.
Well, it's 3 minutes, and they still got all their timeouts. But
yeah, so not game over yet. But they gotta make count some stops. The advantage that Drake May is going to have is that McDaniels and Vrabel should be with him for the next 15 years. That's
at least 10.
At least 10, because that's the insane part right now is that they have that he has that advantage where Brady went through multiple different coordinators when he had Charlie Weiss, and then he had Bill O'Brien, and he had obviously Josh McDaniels, and he had a couple others in there. And the advantage that dude has is insane right now. And so I think, do I think that they're going to go on another 20-year dynasty run? No, because I think to do something like that is once in a lifetime. Even if not even talking about a lifetime, but I don't think that'll ever be replicated ever again. But if you ask me right now, does that franchise have the ability to win multiple Super Bowls? Yes. because I think it's going to be this is another like legacy franchise now. Like they're on par with the Maras and
The Roonies,
the Roonies. This is the Kraft family.
the Barlow family.
Yeah, this franchise isn't going to go outside of the Kraft family. Jonathan Kraft is heavily involved in the team. So could they win multiple Super Bowls with Drake May? Yeah. If you ask me like with a gun to my head, like how many do I think they could win? I think they could win 2.
Quick question: Eddie, is Robert Kraft the greatest owner in NFL history? And the reason why I asked that question, when you look at a lot of the other owners or ownerships, they had a lot of head starts over Robert Kraft. Remember, Robert Kraft didn't become the owner of the New England Patriots until 1994, whereas Jerry Jones became the owner in 1989. When you think about the DeBartolo family, well, now it's Jed York. You know, he got a lot of tutelage from his mother, who was the owner beforehand, and his uncle Eddie DeBartolo. When you think about just a lot of other franchises, they had a head start on him for like years, and for him to go on this 30-year run where he's at least in contention to be in the Super Bowl damn near every single year is amazing. The thing is this: in 90, when he bought the team in 94, by the time 96 was got there, he was already had a conference championship up on his belt. I don't
I
think people understand that.
I honestly,
Yeah.
I'm trying not to be a homer when I say this, but yeah, like he matched and surpassed some of the greatest organizations that we've seen in a fraction of the time.
Yeah.
And now they're on the cusp of possibly going and winning another one.
Yes.
If they win another one, I don't see how he's not the greatest owner
Yeah, even better than Jerry, because although he's an owner with a lot of charisma, with a lot of cachet, with a lot of clout and stuff like that, and he's a visible owner, he's not the guy who has to be out front. He could be out front without actually being out front, if you get what I'm saying. He doesn't have to be the upfront man. You don't see Robert Kraft at a damn press conference after every single game. Now you do
No.
see him with celebrities, you do see him with his share of, friends whatsoever. You see him with Meek Mill, Jay-Z, Cardi, people like that, but you don't see him with Jerry. Well, every time the coaches come to a press conference, his ass has to be there, and
No,
that's
you
the
just see
reason
him in the
why.
press box, and you just he is a delegation owner, and honestly, I think one of the most underrated decisions that has ever been made by an owner is to move on from arguably the greatest coach of all time. 2 years after winning a Super Bowl, mind you, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, after winning a Super Bowl and moving on and making that choice to move on from him. Now they made the mistake in hiring Jared Mayo, but but here's the thing. This is the thing about good organizations and good franchises is that even if they make mistakes, they move on from them very quickly.
Yeah.
They realized Mayo was a mistake. They realized that Vrabel would be a way better hire, and that's obviously been the truth. They went out and here's the funny thing: I didn't even want Drake May. If everybody remembers during this show, I was pounding the table to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and then JJ McCarthy later. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, I remember that.
Boy, was I wrong! Thank God. So it's not just. I mean, if you look at the decisions that he's made over since 1994, bringing in Bill Parcells, and then continuing that culture with Bill Belichick. Like if you look at the culture, this has really started with a Bill Parcells culture, and it's evolved a little bit. But essentially, that's what it is. He's kept the same culture. He's done what, like, if you want to argue what Pop and I forgot the owner in San Antonio,
R.C. Buford.
R.C.
yeah,
Buford.
it's very comparable. Now it's taken San Antonio a little, like they haven't been as successful as the New England Patriots, but they've been close.
Yeah.
So I think it's very you built a culture, and that's what's going to sustain you as a good quality franchise. It's just like the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just like the New York Giants. Like the Giants may have down years, but then they pop right back and they're right in the playoffs. The Green Bay Packers have been a successful franchise since they brought Brett Favre and Mike Holmgren and Ron Wolf, and that culture is still it's the same culture. Draft, develop, bring in free agents when you're on the cusp, or when you think you're on the cusp, like they sign that one big free agent or make that one big trade. It's the same culture as the mid '90s. It's the same thing, and when you can do that with a franchise, it's so big. So, do I think he's the greatest owner of all time? If he isn't now, he's close.
I think he already is personally. I mean, you look at that, just that stretch alone, like in the 2000s. Like I was trying to pull it up on my phone here. Hold on. Okay, the amount of times the New England Patriots at least got to the AFC Championship game since that. If you include 2001, I'm going to count at least the conference title game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's between 2001 and 2025.
I just want to point out one of the craziest stats in all of sports.
Yeah.
Tom Brady never took a snap where he was mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true too. That's crazy.
So if you think about that and what BRF just said with the New England Patriots and Robert Kraft, just look at that kind of success. That's and people can hate on the Patriots all they want, and don't get me wrong, some of it's a little valid because everybody wants to be the Patriots, everybody wants to be that successful, but to have that kind of sustained success for 21 years, and I get it, even before Belichick, they had Bledsoe and Parcells.
Yeah, Bledsoe and Parcells, they went to the Super Bowl.
They almost won. Yeah, they played the Packers in 1996. And here's the thing. This is a franchise that continually makes difficult decisions. Hiring Bill Belichick, as dirty as that was with the whole Jets New England thing. They just given Drew Bledsoe $100 million contract, and they moved on to Tom Brady because they knew it was the right decision. Like, they have historically, that Kraft family has made difficult decisions over and over and over again, and because they're willing to, they've probably made one of the most successful franchises in all of sports history. I'm not even talking about the NFL, but all of sports history.
All of sports. Yeah. So 13 trips to the AFC Championship game, 9 AFC championships, 6 Super Bowl championships. That's between 01 and 2025. I mean, it's insane. That's why I think he's already the greatest owner in the history of the league.
Not just that, and I want to interject. They don't pursue free agents unnecessarily. They do it in moderation. They don't just go out there and try to find the biggest damn name they can find and give them the fattest damn contract that you could possibly find.
No.
They've been able to bring in guys on a budget. They've been able to bring in guys for 1 to 2 year contracts. They've been able to stay below the cap in order to do some things. They're not one of these overspenders in free agency just for the hell of it. And I think that's what cripples teams more than bad drafting. When you got somebody who can't play within your system under your contract for over $100 million, then guess what? You're in a bad state of affairs. I really believe that they got to steal the free agency when it came to Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs came out there and he was able to contribute a lot of things towards this young team. And look, people talk about how volatile he is. Say what you want to about him off the field or whatever, but the thing is, we haven't heard a peep out of him this year.
Well, he wants to win. Here's the thing. This is what New England does. Because, remember, he was coming off an ACL tear out of Houston.
Yeah.
They are a reclamation project type franchise. They will take up somebody with a ton of talent. Look at Randy Moss. Like, everybody wants to go well, how'd they get Randy Moss? Randy Moss was toiling in hell in Oakland and was disinterested, and they threw a 3rd round draft pick at Oakland. They just barely outbid Green Bay because Green Bay wouldn't go higher than a 4th round draft pick.
I heard Brett Favre was furious that didn't happen too.
Oh yeah,
I heard he was furious.
There have been some decisions that the Packer organization has made. Like JJ Watt was just recently. He's on the Pat McAfee show all the time. But he said the year that he ended up going to Arizona, he wanted to go to Green Bay. And he was like, he literally told his agent, I'll play there for basically free. I want to go home. And Green Bay didn't want him.
Damn.
Like,
and then that year he went to Arizona and still put up like double-digit sacks.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, he wasn't what he used to be.
But like 11 and a half sacks, like at that advanced part of his career, whoa.
But when an all-time great and hometown all-time great is saying, I want to come home and I'll play for basically pennies on the dollar, and he's still got something left in the tank,
You go
do
get
that.
him.
You do that. Like, you just do. Like, so there have been times that, like, that's a crappy thing, as well run as the Green Bay Packer organization is, they have made some bafflingly stupid mistakes.
I mean, the year he went to Arizona was in 2021. He got injured the first year. The very next year he came back and put up 12 and a half sacks.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that's amazing.
Yeah.
JJ Watt, probably one of the greatest defensive players that you ever want to see. That's a start bench cut for the ages, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But I really think that the Crafts, like I stated, when you look at the Rooneys, they had like a 60-year head start before everybody. They had, where they didn't have a salary cap in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. They didn't have to worry about that. The fact that you have a dynasty in the modern era where you have a revolving door, where you have to make the tough decisions, where salary cap, you have to stay below the cap. You can't keep all of these great players every single year. You have to bring in a new crop of players every year. You can't be. I mean, the fact that you were not afraid to give up an all-pro Lawyer Malloy. I mean, I never forget that Lawyer Malloy. I'm like, Lawyer Malloy was traded to the Bills. Like, are you? I was like, are you freaking crazy?
Yeah.
I mean,
and it was like the week or two before the opener against the Bills.
Yeah.
So like they.
Oh shit!
Right. I'm behind.
Me too. Don't say it.
Holy fuck! No way! How does this fucking team keep doing it?
They're not going for it, bro. Kick the field goal.
Get the entire hell out of here.
Hey, you missed this damn kick down to make your ass walk in the freezing cold butt naked. I cannot believe that. There you go.
Wow.
Caleb
Williams. Caleb Williams, you freaking animal.
Wow. That has got to be the highlight of the week. Hold on, man, before we get back.
Wow.
Caleb Williams, you animal.
I cannot believe that.
He threw that.
You're up. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Now you can. Yeah.
Wow. He threw that from shoulder. Right over his shoulder.
That was an Aaron Rodgers type fucking throw.
That was insane.
Right over his shoulder. Boom. And
how are you as the corner? How do you let that happen?
How do you let him go?
Like, you had
right over his shoulder. Right over his shoulder. Damn.
Wow.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Damn.
Okay. Wow.
Cole Quebec.
Fucking horseshoe.
He threw that from the 40 off his back foot.
Off his back
It's
foot.
like
That
the
dude got a
Rodgers,
rocket, dog.
Rodgers throw against Arizona.
The Hail Mary, yeah.
The second of the two
The
Hail
second
Marys.
of the second
I
one.
will never forget that. No, I never forget that because you know what? There was a lot of memes going on online, right? And they gave Aaron Rodgers, when you know what I mean, they gave him that Tupac bandana and they said Hail Mary. That's the only thing I remember about that.
That's crazy.
Did they fumble it? Oh no.
That's good Lord, bro.
Back to it.
Wow.
Back to it. We've already spoken about New England. Real quick. Did we crown CJ Stroud too soon after that rookie year?
It seems like we did. I mean, it definitely seemed like we were getting ready to say he's finally ended the curse of the Ohio State quarterback in the National Football League, and Lord beholds, it's reawoken. Like he's basically like he's regressed every year since.
So
I think a lot of now I will say this though, like his offensive lines have been terrible, and you can see it today. They were horrible today, but I also think at the same time like he's an athletic quarterback, and I feel like he doesn't always make enough plays with his feet. You know, when he needs to make a play to kind of move the chains, he wants to just stand back there and throw, which I understand, but a lot of it is his really own doing. He holds on to the ball too long. He tries. I don't know. Like I think we kind of did. Now, if you look at the last 3 years, I think we kind of have.
I don't think I've ever seen a fall as high as he was. Like he was like great his rookie year. I'm not talking about like Ben Roethlisberger like throwing for 150 yards a game. Like he was great. Like holy shit. Like this is the next guy. Like type year. And he has just been I can't explain it. I don't get it. I don't I don't get it.
And it's not like he doesn't have weapons. I mean, Nico Collins, in my opinion, is a top 5 receiver in football. And it's not like he hasn't had weapons there. I mean, it's like I don't know what's going on.
Then you have a defense to die for. You have a defense to die for. So
that defense today, an interception, 2 fumble recoveries, 5 sacks, and they lost by 12 because you were inept on offense.
Yeah. I mean, you have essentially become went from a rookie sensation from rookie of the year. You've essentially become Rex Grossman.
Yeah.
And that's what had they made it to the Super Bowl, that's exactly what the story would have been. Because he threw for over the last 2 games 7 turnovers. 7. And what's so funny about that, people thought people thought that we was wilding when we said that the other night on Sports PSP's podcast. Yeah, y'all ain't right. We gonna see.
Well, no, which talking about that he was gonna turn the ball over.
I told him he was gonna throw an interception.
I agree with you. I mean, it's just
I'm not talking about you in particular. Everybody else thought we was
no, yeah, exactly. I don't know why everybody was getting all so up and on for. I mean, the way CJ Stroud's been playing, I mean, it's like you could see at least a couple of turnovers coming. He fumbled the ball 5 times against Pittsburgh. He fumbled it 5 times, and he lost 2 of them.
And had Pittsburgh had a little bit of offense,
they would have made it a better game. I'm not saying they would have won, but it would have been a closer game.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like we gotta. Yeah, I mean, that is an epic fall. That was.
I don't. The thing is you can't say that they haven't put offensive line, but when you are that good or supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to make that offensive line better.
Not only that, look, I hate to bring his name up, and I know he's not doing good now, but Deshaun Watson didn't have the greatest offensive line when he was in Houston. Russell Wilson, when he was on his last leg in damn Seattle, he didn't have the best offensive line. Bro, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. At some point as a quarterback, you have to be a kingmaker. If you're a king, you make the knight, the damn bishop, and the queen better, and you make the pawns look like they're bishops on the board. But the thing is, when you have a stifling defense like that, that keeps you in so many ball games that this team did not allow over 21 points, but 3 times this year. And you still could not win anything. You still couldn't generate enough big plays.
Here's the thing, though. Like, he was making really poor decisions today.
He was. He looked
like, this wasn't like
he was scared.
Yeah, like this one. There was a couple tip balls. Like the ball. I mean, it's not like New England. I mean, Drake May fumbled it like 4 times, but he just only lost 1. So everybody was having problems holding on to the football. But like there were some interceptions. He was making really poor decisions.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that one. I think it was the second pick where he was backing up. And now looking at the play, I think it was going to be like a screen to the tight end, but the tight end that failed. So he's going to go to his second read. And I understand the play, but if you're going to make a play like that, at least try to roll out to give yourself a better chance to make that throw. Like he was backing up. Like he was basically inviting the New England defenders to just do what they did.
Yeah, now to give credit, New England's defense is really good.
Oh no, I'm not saying that, but
you're right though. Like
they were making plays, but he could have at least rolled out of the pocket to give himself a better outlook on that receiver because that receiver had broken open
and his pocket awareness is terrible.
Oh God, it's so bad.
It's so bad. Like he had no. Like again, don't get me wrong. New England was like pressuring him all day, but like there was no effort to like when he was feeling pressure from the outside, like no stepping up in the pocket. And then when it was like there was just no, it was really just odd to see him. The guy that's the big Texans fan. I feel bad for him because I'm just like you just when you think you finally have the guy, like as and you just I just like that's so bad. Again, we got to put blame on him. I know that we're not in the level of like he's not on like Josh Allen level at this point, but dude, you can't turn the ball over 7 times in the playoffs. You're on some kind of level. Like,
seven times. That's crazy. But
regardless of what you think about Ryan Clark, I think he was right about this. He said that at halftime when he was already playing terrible. What is that? This is let him play out the half and see. Like this is what you do. This game, the second half, is basically him. Should he be the quarterback of the Houston Texans moving forward? Like I don't think that was an unrealistic statement by Ryan Clark. He makes a lot of outrageous shit, but he does. But I don't think that was out of line.
I love them suits that dude be wearing though, man. No funny business. That dude be fly as hell with.
I gotta admit, so I think Cam Newton looks ridiculous 98% of the time. Like I just go like, all right, bro, like all right. But Ryan Clark,
yeah,
that dude can dress.
No, I'll never forget. My father. My father's a real, old school guy.
Yeah.
He likes Cam Newton's his show. He said, I like the show that he puts on outside of, with the little baddies or whatever. The sports part is good. He said, but I can't stand them damn Mary Poppins suits he be having the fuck.
No,
I gotta say this because there's a clip going around. I think it was on IG and TikTok. Shout out Marcus Spears. Like they were on NFL Live. It was like him and Laura Rutledge. And I'm sorry, I have a crush on Laura Rutledge. Sue me, I don't care. But anyways, so they both had like Ryan Clark had on this red suit, and then Laura Rutledge had on like this red dress, whatever. And Marcus Spears, you can hear him in the background. He's like, "Boy, look at y'all, boy. Y'all look like a couple of big ass candy apples."
Hell no. Hell no.
And Ryan Clark with his smart ass. So candy apples are great, Marcus.
Oh man, but yeah, that's a CJ Stroud. I mean, hot take. Is it time for you to go looking for another quarterback?
I think it's a question.
You have to think about it because he's looked
the
last couple of he's just looked like
he's getting worse.
He's getting worse.
So
I mean, think about this. We're on the 2-year anniversary of the Undisputed GOAT podcast. We're on the 2-year anniversary right about now. Just 2 years ago, we was talking about this young man as the MVP.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Going into his second year in the league, we're like, wow.
MVP candidate.
MVP candidate.
MVP candidate. You know, it's just like he's just shoot. It's
Exactly.
like, damn.
So I think it has to be a. Now I don't know what you do. I mean, I'm gonna sit here. If you're gonna ask me for a solution, I don't know what the solution is if you move on from him. But I mean,
I think you do the same thing that Carolina's doing with Bryce Young. You give him the 5th year, but if he doesn't play up to par, you have to really think about it in the back.
yeah, I think you give him the 5th year, but I don't
Yeah.
think you give him an extension.
Yeah, you don't give him. Yeah, it's like the same thing with Bryce Young. You don't give him an extension, but you give him the 5th year, and you give him one more shot to really prove himself.
He's
If he
doing
ball,
it.
and even if he balls out, you don't give him like a big contract. You give him some decent money if he balls out, but don't give him like a big money contract. But yeah, he's got to. Yeah, he's got to show it this year because we had him on like a really high pedestal, like top 10 in the league and top 5 conversations. Like he was up there, and the drop has just been so drastic.
And I just don't know what you do. I mean, again, you can go and improve the offensive line. I mean, I everybody liked Marks, but I think he's. Ooh. I don't think he's any good. And Nick Chubb is a shell of himself. Like they need to improve the offensive line and go get a running back. I think those are those 2 big things that they need to go into the offseason.
Can you see Jeremiah Love from the Notre Dame Fighting Irish? Can you see him dropping to them at a certain point?
No.
Jeremiah Love is a top 10 draft pick, top 5 draft pick.
Jeremiah Love might be the best player regardless of position in the entire draft.
Yeah, he's like Saquon Barkley level.
Yeah. He's got that type of talent.
Like he's that type of talent. Like I don't know. Now, I mean, but that's the thing. Go get real quality running backs in the draft. You don't have to go up and get Love. Like you can get quality running backs all over the board. They just haven't been able to draft him. And like I said, Marks is kind of, I don't know. They were kind of glowing him up like, well, yeah, his first 100-yard game. Like really, his first? Like I don't know. He doesn't have a lot of great burst. Part of the reason is to me, Marks, it was great in college as a receiving running back. They didn't use him for shit when it came to that, which is kind of makes me question the coaching staff a little bit. Is like you drafted a guy that was probably the best receiving back coming out of college that year or this year or whatever it was, and you didn't utilize him that way.
Okay.
That makes me question the coaching staff a little bit. So I think there's issues, and maybe it's coaching. Maybe that's why we've seen him regress so much. I mean, if you look at Caleb Williams right now and Drake May and Mac Jones, look at these 3 examples right now when you go from really bad coaching to quality coaching and what it does. I mean, there were rumors that Caleb Williams, like nobody was sitting in film rooms with him. Like, like they didn't even try. I mean, we all know about Mac Jones, and Drake May. I mean, I was a little worried last year, and like I said, thank God they moved on from Mayo. So again, that throw was insane. PSP. Yeah. Just to get it to the back of the end zone like that is.
Why don't they just run the damn tush push? Well, that's better than the tush push.
But I love
that damn tush push. I ain't gonna lie to you. As a lineman, only thing I gotta do is get in front of your ass and just maul you.
I feel 2 ways about it. I like part of me, like the old school part of me is just kind of like it's a rugby play. It's a scrum. Like stop being a bunch of big babies about it and just it can't be. It's literally football. It's rugby. It's just it's old school football. Like, but then the other part is just like I don't know. I don't like the shoving the guy from behind thing. That's the thing that I don't like. But by the way, I want to point out something, and I made a video series or like just a video about Caleb Williams. I think it was last year when it came to like the painted fingernails, even though I've given him a little shit for it, but that's just warranted. You're going to get a little crap for it. But he is proven to be as tough of a quarterback as you've seen. The shots that he's taken in this game, there's been a couple shots he's taken. They're like, oof.
Hell, the shot on that touchdown pass he took.
Yeah, I also want to point out that I remember when he was in college and he was at USC and USC lost a game and he was in the stands. Remember that viral video that went around?
Yeah, when he was crying in the stands, yeah.
Crying, and everybody was getting him shit for it. I'm like, that's a dude that cares and wants to win. I hope that dude's crying. That's the stupid thing. I just want to like Josh Allen walked up to that podium crying.
Yep.
Nobody gave him shit for it. Oh, and you just throw a pick like that. I just was glazing you.
Damn, why would
Now
you?
you go throw a pick. No, now it's next score wins.
Next score win. The Josh Allen rule.
Oh.
Yeah, again, what did I say? What's the theme of the weekend?
Wait a minute. He didn't have that shit. Oh, yes, he did.
What's the theme of the weekend?
Turnovers.
Turnovers. Oh, that was a really bad throw.
That was a bad one. Moving forward, man. Real quick. 1 minute apiece. Can Sean Payton win with Jared Stidham? Can he be his Nick Foles?
Nope. They are not beating New England. They're not beating New England.
They're playing in Mile High now. They're not playing in Gillette.
I know. No. Well, here's the thing though. New England doesn't. It's one thing if it's a warm weather team. Yeah, this is New England. They're not worried about that. This is New
I'm
England.
just asking because in reality, I told everybody, when you go to Gillette in January, you go to Gillette to get your ass whooped. Let's just be real. You go to Gillette to get your ass whooped. They have the best playoff record in the last 30 years. They've only lost 5 games in Gillette the entire time Mr. Kraft has been the owner.
Yeah, but
so in reality, you go to if they was playing in Gillette, I would say okay. But reality of the situation, you playing a Mile High.
I know,
the elevation.
True.
The elevation and the defense. Yeah.
True. But for me, it's still cold weather. The cold weather. I mean, I get the elevation, all of that stuff. But no, I think if Mike Vrabel and that defensive staff is going to come up with a scheme, knowing that it's Jarrett Stidham, and I think they're just going to harass him like all 4 quarters.
Oh, what a throw by Stafford! Wow.
That Georgia Bulldog still got it, don't it?
I don't. Wow, what a throw! Ooh, did he get the foot down?
No, he didn't. I don't think so.
Ooh.
Oh, he didn't have full control.
Yeah, they're reviewing it. I don't know if he got that second foot down, or they call timeout.
Oh no, let's review it. No, he didn't get that second foot down.
I don't think he did. Yeah, I don't think he did.
No, 1.
Wait a minute.
No, he's out of bounds.
Ooh, well.
I thought he dragged that back foot.
No, he out of bounds. He didn't have full control before he brings it in. So no, he ain't have it.
Well, I don't think there's enough to overturn it. I think it'll stay complete.
Yeah, there's not enough to overturn that.
I don't think. I think it's. I think it's a catch, barely. Wow, that's really.
Yeah, because he's dragging both. Yeah, they're gonna give him that.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough to overturn it.
They're gonna give him that.
Do I think he can be as Nick Foles? I mean, it is a little weird that Jared Stidham was one of the early Tom Brady replacements in New England.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
came out of Auburn.
Yeah, so I mean, and there was a time period for like a preseason game and a half where everybody was like, "Ooh, I like this guy," and I was just like, "No." But
now, they only have 5 games on tape for the guy.
But at the same time, though, look,
5 games, not a lot of tape. So you might be in an advantage.
I think this is more of a Jeff Hostetler situation than this is a Nick Foles.
Ooh, I like that.
There was a guy that meant I was thinking this too, but I think it's a Jeff Hostetler situation, or could be. There's no excuses for New England to lose this game next
week. None
at
all.
But I'm not going to sit here and say it's not possible. Sean Payton is a Hall of Fame head coach, or will be when he retires. So let's not sneeze at that. Ooh. Let's not completely sneeze at that. And Denver's defense is really good. Now, is it anywhere near Houston's? No. But again, there's no reason that New England should lose this game next week. Again, I'm not arrogant enough to say like
You
as
as
far
a
as
New-
I don't
you're not going to say there's no chance they lose, but
yeah, because I don't want to eat a turd next week. That's kind of the problem. Like
okay. I gotta ask you a question, Flash, before
Yeah.
we move on to the next one.
Huh?
You as a New England fan, what would you tell another fan if they told you y'all had the easiest path to the Super Bowl? What would you tell them? Because
I
the
heard
reason why I'm saying that because I've been seeing it, all the little talking heads and all this other stuff has been on there, you know. And
Oh, they
said,
already saying that?
yeah, already
Yeah.
said.
Yeah,
Oh, they're
now
lying. Oh, they're lying. They're lying.
Here's the thing. I heard the same bullshit when it was Brady and Belichick. Oh, the AFC East is just a terrible division and blah blah blah. Like I don't. When you get in the playoffs and you're beating Manning and Roethlisberger and Rivers and all those types and all those guys, like don't sit here and tell me that it's the easiest road. Now, right now, here's the thing about this. You could argue that Mahomes isn't there, but they weren't good this year.
Not his fault.
Again,
Not his fault.
You beat three high caliber. You beat Justin Herbert in the first round. It wasn't your fault that CJ Stroud laid an egg. It wasn't your fault that these teams were losing in the regular season. And guess what? It's not your fault that Bo Nix got hurt. So you got your way to there by playing good football.
Exactly.
That's what I would tell them. We got there by playing good football. So that's not an easy path. Once you get to the playoff, anything can happen.
I mean, like just looking at their schedule, they beat Buffalo early in the year. They beat the Falcons before the Falcons just fell apart. Like you can say what you want about that. They beat Tampa Bay. They beat Baltimore. They beat they lost to Buffalo again. I mean, looking at their schedule, is it easy? Yeah, but I don't know, man. I mean,
I played. I still had to go out there and I had to win those games. I mean,
yeah.
you only play who's in front of you. And look, we've seen a lot of guys with easy schedule. Remember, Dallas had an easy schedule not too long ago. I think it was the year before last, and faltered. So you play who's in front of you.
And that's the thing. It's like you play who's in front of you. And again, I said this last week going into these playoffs that this is one of those years where I think anybody is capable of winning everybody that's in the playoffs. And I think that we've all seen that. I think that comment that I made has kind of bore its fruit right now because every game has been high quality and close, which means that all these teams are pretty much even, except for I know you had Seattle beat the crap out of San Francisco last night, but San Francisco basically is playing on one leg as a whole team right now. And then you have, but even New England and Houston today was relatively close. PSP's asking me, who do I have between Miami and Indiana tomorrow? I'm going to Indiana just because they have just been beating the dog crap out of everybody. I think Miami is playing really well, but Indiana is playing on another level. Nope, don't throw a flag. Okay. I think it's all Indiana. At this point, I don't have a rooting interest in the game at all. So I'm more of I just want to see a great football game. But I think it's going to be Indiana. When you beat the brakes off of Ohio State, which they've just been. Don't get me wrong though. Carson Beck could have. You never know, but I think it's Indiana.
Real quick, who has the best playoff story? Which team who remains in the playoffs has the best story? Like real quick, 1 minute apiece. I'll say Sean McVay. Sean McVay, if he wins this game and pull this out, then guess what? He'll have 2 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and I think he'll be as young as he is. He'll be a lock to be in the Hall of Fame right now. So that's the best story.
Chicago.
Okay.
Chicago or New England.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. I personally think it's New England.
I think you have Chicago, where if they let's say they win the Super, let's say they go to the Super, let's just say Chicago goes to the Super Bowl. The story, doesn't matter anyways.
No matter anyway.
Game over. Or what? Wait, is it final? Or
Yeah, the game's over. They both had possession. Game's over.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. So never mind. There goes the Chicago thing. If it would have been Chicago, I think the story of Caleb Williams and the Bears finally getting to, finally getting over the hump and everything else and going to the Super Bowl with a high quality quarterback. But I think the New England story of basically you go from Belichick Brady to now you have a new. I think that's a bigger story. I think the McVay thing is a story, but I think it's more of a Stafford story than it is a McVay story. Okay. You have Stafford, who's in the twilight of his career, and I think if he wins another one, I think that does more for his career than anybody else. Mm. Like, where do you if he wins another one? Let's quick hypothetical. If Stafford wins another ring this year, where does that put him all time? Hall of Fame. I'm talking about all time. I think he's already a Hall of Famer.
I think in terms of quarterback rankings,
does he sneak into the top 15?
I think he does. I think he's in that 12 to 15 range. And I've said that before. I think he sneaks in that 12 to 15 range.
So then I guess going to piggyback off of what Champ said, if McVay wins another one and he's 1-2 and let's say he's 1-2 and been to 3.
Yeah, it's 1-2, been to 3.
Yeah, apparently I'm a Macho Man Randy Savage and I can't do the right digits. Where does that put him all time coach wise?
Oh gosh.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe McVay is the story and it's not Stafford. Maybe it's both of them.
I would probably say both of them. I mean, as a head coach, when you get the second one, you're kind of in rarefied air. Yeah. When you get those multiple rings, you're in rarefied air. I mean, not a lot of coaches have more than one. So I mean,
and Sean McVay, look, he has a lot of time because guess what? He's one of the youngest coaches still in the league right now. He's only 39 years old.
Yeah, he's 39 still.
He's 39. Hell, he's my age.
I'm older than Sean McVay.
Yeah, you and me both are older than Sean McVay.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Let's see when his birthday is. Yeah, he'll be 40 this year. So
he'll be 40 this year.
Did any coach win before 40? That's a TikTok video. Did any coach win before 40?
See, I'm trying to think. Head coaches with multiple Super Bowls. You got Joe Gibbs. Let's see. Joe Gibbs, Andy Reid, Bill Walsh, Chuck Noll, Bill Belichick. That's it. Oh wait, no, I take that back. Sorry, that's completely wrong of me. Then you have with at least two.
Gruden, McVay, Mike Tomlin. Only three coaches to win Super Bowls before the age of 40.
Yeah.
The other guys with 2 wins are Lombardi, Landry, Shula, Flores, Parcells, Seaford. George Seaford. 1-2?
Yeah, George Seaford won.
Yeah, 94. I forgot.
94.
Yeah, that's how come I always ask myself why he's not in the Hall of Fame, because he not only won one. They say, well, that was Bill Walsh's team. Yeah, but he won one with Steve Young.
Won one with Steve Young.
And dethroned the Cowboys dynasty. So yeah.
God, I don't remember him being the coach that year.
Because he was so damn quiet. That's why. George Seaford was not a rah-rah type of guy.
No, he was not.
He was quiet as hell. He was just like, he was very, very quiet. And I think the only thing that happened, the main thing, the story of that year, one second. The story of that year, I think, was the only time that you really heard a peep out of George Seaford, right, was when Steve Young got pissed off at him at that Philadelphia Eagles game and commenced to cursing his ass out on the sideline.
So, yeah, they lost like 40-6, and they got
like 40-6, and then he's like, "Hey man, you got to come out." And he was like, "Man," and then the only thing, I remember Brett Jones was like, only thing you heard was, and considering that Steve Young is Mormon, but the only thing you heard was Steve Young, MF, and George Seifert up and down the side. Like he said, that George didn't say anything; he just kept coaching. He said I was hoping to start a fight with George Seifert that day because he was like, I feel like him pulling me out. He not only just singled me out, but it was like, yeah, you're to blame for it. I'm like, damn, Steve.
I want to point out, I think PSP makes a good point. The Sam Darnold story is pretty cool.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at where he came from when he was with the Jets and he was, seeing ghosts and looked like a bust as a quarterback, to now he's on the cusp of going to a Super Bowl. And honestly, went and almost took the Vikings to a Super Bowl. And then they just disregarded him, just cast him aside. And now he went to Seattle, and they're one game away from the Super Bowl now. So there's a lot of really good stories this year.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, I know we're not giving him any shot, but can you imagine if Jarrett Stidham does beat the New England Patriots and goes to the Super Bowl? Can you imagine that story? I think he was a 6th round draft pick. Let's see. Jarrett Stidham.
And the crazy thing about it is isn't there a story? Didn't they sign Ben DiNucci to be the 3rd stringer?
Yep.
But yeah, that would be crazy. Jarrett Stidham was to beat the New England Patriots next Sunday. That would be insane.
He was drafted in the 4th round, so not the 6th round. 4th round, 133rd pick overall by the New England Patriots.
All right.
I mean, he had good years at Auburn. He had good years at Auburn.
Oh, he's a quality quarterback. I'm just saying, this is why I'm not so willing to go like that. There's no excuse, but the kid's got some talent. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball. That's the other thing too. Like, he's really athletic. Now again, don't get me wrong. I think Mike Vrabel is going to have a really great game plan going into this football game. But I'm not willing to say no. Again, it's Sean Payton.
Yeah. And that defense. So
and look, as good as I feel after today's game, and I know it was rainy and snowy and all that kind of shit in New England. Look, Drake May didn't take care of the football.
No, he didn't.
And his one big fault right now is he has the most fumbles, even prior to this game, the most fumbles in the regular season as a quarterback.
Yes, so, indeed, he does. He does.
So, this game could have turned out very different if a couple fumbles don't bounce the Patriots' way,
or if the other quarterback doesn't out turnover him. So
yeah. So it was a turnover. Again, this whole weekend was just turnovers. If you look at look how this played. Look at the Bears and Rams game.
Yeah,
can't turn over football. So
can't do it.
Can't do it. So I'm next week is going to be fun. I'm excited as a Patriots fan that we're this close already. It's going to be fun.
All right. Real quick, 1 minute. Can Harbaugh win with the Giants? Real quick, guys. You go first, BRF.
I think it's going to take a couple years. I think he's got to get that roster together. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say. I think he'll be like. I don't know. I can see him. I don't know. I feel like the Giants. There's still some pieces away, particularly in that secondary. Like, the secondary still ain't the greatest. We know what that front seven is going to do. We know what they can do. We know they got Scatterboo. They got Malik Neighbors. So it's like they got Tyrone Tracy. I mean, they got talent there. I don't know about playoffs this year, but depending on salary cap and anything like that, depending on how they do this year, maybe next season. I think they're still a year or two away, even with John Harbaugh.
Flash.
I'm curious. He has total control of the roster now. This is completely different. This is a different animal than what what he had in Baltimore. But in Baltimore, he had we talked about quality franchises for all. I know Baltimore didn't play well this year, but going back to Ozzie Newsome is one of the greatest GMs of all time. Like they've had a quality franchise, and they have again their owner too. You can whatever you want to think about him too. He's a really quality owner. They have a great culture there. But now you're going into a situation where now you have total control of the roster. So
yeah.
That's the part that if he's just the coach, I'm saying immediately, I'm saying right away, yes, he can win. But now you're the GM too.
It's a whole nother animal.
Let's wait and see. I think they have talent there. I think they're going to go forward with Jackson Dart. As long as Scoots come back, he comes back from the knee injury. Same with Neighbors. Like they have a big three on offense already. If Dart can continue to progress. So the pieces are there. That's why I'm kind of surprised. Like I'm curious to see how this goes with the full roster control thing. So I'm hesitant to say yes, but more than likely because he's a really good coach.
Okay. Real quick. I do emphasize real quick. Kevin Stefanski to Atlanta. Are people not focused enough on the fact that he won Coach of the Year twice and he did not have a consistent quarterback after Baker Mayfield? I mean, after Baker Mayfield, it's basically Mr. Marcus and then a whole bunch of other guys. So
yeah, but you literally just took a guy. You literally just got rid of Raheem Morris, who went 8-9 without a consistent quarterback, to bring in another guy who went 8-9 because he didn't have a consistent quarterback, and you still don't have a consistent quarterback. So I don't think it matters. I think it's a legitimate. I think it's a legitimate criticism to hire him. I'm not on the Stefanski train. Okay. I started to lose a little bit of steam with him when they got rid of Baker because I still think it was a stupid move. Now, regardless of whether he was involved in that or not, there's rumors he was. There was also rumors that he didn't want Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I've heard that too, that he didn't want him.
That too. So but that still was a really talented roster, and they underperformed in the last couple of years. So can I take the cheap way out and say both?
Yeah.
And say I think people are not focusing on that, but I think the criticisms are fair.
Okay. BRF?
I also do think Kevin Stefanski is I think what gives him the edge as far as over Raheem Morris. I don't think Raheem Morris from his first stint with Tampa and then he never grew. Like he never grew from that. Like a lot of the mistakes he was making in Tampa, and this was a long time ago. It was like you could still kind of see it, and it was one of those things where it's like he didn't really some things he could do well. Like I think he's a good leader of men. Definitely think he's a good leader of men. I mean he's a player's coach. But with that being said, with him it was just like the same things over and over and over and over, and it was stuff that could have been fixed, and it's like it was just never fixed. And a lot of it is like I don't know. It's just hard to kind of put like my finger on. But with that being said, I mean, I get why people are upset about the Kevin Stefanski hire, but at the same time, we have to look at the situation. He had a really talented defense. His offensive situation was one of the worst offensive situations in the league. Let's be real. I mean, I'll give him that. I mean, like when you look at the Cleveland Browns front office and just their absolute willingness to give Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed money, and him it's giving him that much money and him missing as much time as he had, and basically like not knowing what you're getting, and then like that year they made the playoffs when Joe Flacco just basically hopped off his couch and won comeback player of the year. They were 5-1 in games Deshaun Watson started, but they won in spite of him because that defense was just uber talented. That defense was just uber talented. They won in spite of him. So
he was playing really bad.
He was playing terrible football, but they were still 5-1 because that defense was just ferocious. I don't think you one coach of the year. I can kind of see it like, coincidence. You win two, I think there's a little meat on that bone when you win two coach of the years. And he had playoff. And I guess people, the most noteworthy thing he did was like that playoff game against Pittsburgh. That's one more win than we've had since 2018. That's one more win since we've had since the last time we've been to the playoffs. So that counts for something. I mean, half of the Cleveland Browns playoff appearances, I think since 1990 or whatever, are Kevin Stefanski. That's how bad the Cleveland. And you have to take into account that they didn't exist for a while. But even still, before they went away and moved to Baltimore, they were still a bad team. They weren't making the playoffs. And then the rebirth, like back in '99. I mean, they've been consistently bad since they've been reborn. So criticism granted, but at the same time, I look at Arthur Blank being a quality owner, and I look at the roster that he has, particularly on offense. I like, even though they don't have like a consistent quarterback right now, everything else around it is good. Everything else around it is good. You get and the defense kind of, and I think that was one of the biggest things with Stefanski. Jeff Olbrich gets to stay as defense coordinator, so I think that was one of the biggest things with me. So, as much as the criticism is warranted, I'm not ready to write this off. I want to see what he does with this kind of talent. If they get the quarterback, this could be something because he's a good play caller. I'm thinking I'm taking the wait and see approach.
Okay.
I'm kind of with Flash on this. Like the criticism's warranted, but hey, you don't just luck into two coach of the years.
Okay. Real quick. Best coach remaining.
Kubiak.
60 seconds.
Kubiak. I don't like Saleh. It's just a thing. I don't think he's a. I think he's a good defensive coordinator. I think he's going to be. I know he's at the Jets, and so it was. Like the whole situation. It's the Jets. It's a terrible organization, but I think Saleh's a better defensive coordinator. If I'm a franchise and I'm gonna hire somebody, it's gonna be Kubiak.
I do think Clint Kubiak, just from what he's shown as an offensive play caller and the way his offenses are run, I think he does give you more of a ceiling. If you do bring him on as a head coach, yeah, I'm gonna go Clint Kubiak.
All right, Brian Flores.
I need to see more. I like Brian Flores a lot. I just thought what we saw in Miami, it's not enough of
a full picture.
Yeah, it's like the Stefanski thing. Like, I think there's two truths. I think he's a really good coach, but is he being overrated or is he underrated? So, I do want to see him get a chance though, but I want him to be at a stable organization. The Miami Dolphins are not a stable organization. Like that's why as much as I forgot about Pittsburgh, I don't like the roster, him going to that, but at least it's a stable franchise though.
Mm.
So if he's going to go anywhere, I do want him to get a fair. I think he deserves a shot at a head coaching job.
Fair enough. So, as we finish up on this note this week, gotta say this. This is the 2-year anniversary of the Undisputed GOAT podcast. We started off 2 years ago. We're up to 209 followers as of today. Each of us have had our own success on our TikTok pages, and I encourage you to go to each and every last one of our TikTok pages in order to check out content, especially Flash's page from Dad Bod to Rad Bod. That has inspired me a lot. And BRF, he has been pumping out content like hell. If you really want to know baseball, go to these two great gentlemen's page, especially with opening weekend just 2 months away. That's what I encourage you to do. So, 2-year anniversary. I appreciate all of you guys' hard work. I appreciate us sticking together and seeing this thing through. This is the start of the new year, and we're getting a lot of traction. So, thank you guys for being here. You were the first two guys that I got and said, "Hey, man, It started from TikTok lives, and now we have our own show. So we have our own platform in order to speak. Um, so I'm very, very proud to be on the stage and share a stage with both of you guys. We were able to make a lot of upgrades, not just on all three of our platforms, and we were able to do a lot of great things. And thank you guys for sticking with the show. And hey, there's been some times where we had to arrange the show to fit each other's schedules because we all three of us collectively have wild ass schedules, considering our jobs and things of that nature. But I thank you both for being here. And on that note, I salute both of you. Anything you guys have to add before we sign off?
I gotta say, it's definitely been really like I don't know what it was that caused me to even really start with the TikTok thing and start making content. I don't know. I guess watching ESPN and Fox Sports and all the shows like the debate shows all these years, and kind of you see some of the takes these guys have, and I'm like, ain't no way. Like I can, man, if you paying these guys millions of dollars to make these dumbass takes, I can get on here, I can get on here and do some of this stuff myself. And I think, and just kind of sparked something. I got on my TikTok and like I think I started like in 2019, and I just kind of stuck with it. And then you stitch the right videos, you come at the right people, you start to get the traction, and then next thing people are noticing you, and they kind of they want to hear what you got to say. They think they got something with you. So it's definitely a blessing. It's definitely a blessing to be here at this point. Didn't even realize we were at the 2 year anniversary already. So that's crazy how time has already flown with this show. But it's an honor it's definitely an honor to be here and share the stage with y'all, man, and learning about you guys, and just getting to pick your brains about stuff. And I feel like the feeling is like mutual with all three of us, being able to pick our brains about certain stuff and learning what the other know. And it's really, it's been fun. This whole experience has been fun. And I'm just ready to keep it going, man. I'm having a blast, and I love both of y'all guys, man. Y'all don't understand, y'all, like everybody that's been on this journey with me, that see me where I'm at today, man. I owe a lot, and it's just I'm thankful to even be here, to be able to talk, get on here, and present myself in front of people. So hey, let's keep it going, man. It's a blessing. It's a blessing, and it's a real opportunity to just even be here to do stuff like this. And I'm very grateful, and I'm ready to keep it going. So shout out to y'all. Shout out, shout out.
Everything that he said, and the reason why I started doing TikTok is I just can't keep my mouth shut for some reason. So no matter how hard I try, I just can't help myself. So, but it's been a whirlwind. I remember starting to do TikToks and noticing Champ when he was at like a couple hundred followers. This is a long time ago, like more than like I was still married when I asked Champ to do a podcast. So, and I've been divorced going on almost 6 years now. So, like I remember asking Champ real early on if he wanted to do a podcast a long time ago, and he didn't have the time at the time. And the fact that he still remembered that I asked him that question and asked me years later, mind you, to do this. Yeah, very thankful that I get to do this. And like I said, the closer I get to certain things, my time is going to start to widen the time that I have, so I can start making a lot of like the last couple of weeks are finally I've been able to actually sit and watch sports consistently for the first time in a long, long time. And like not just like, oh, I have to do laundry and do all this kind of stuff, and I get a little bit of a snippet, and then I got to go and back and try and like now I'm actually able to sit and watch whole games, and it's really good. So, yeah. So and I thank both of you guys for being understanding for you know schedule thing. We've all had to make adjustments, but I appreciate it. Mine's been a little bit more. I'm rocking the single dad life, so no complaints about it. I love being a dad, and it's my favorite thing on earth, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So, but yeah, I think this is I think this is going to be a great year in 2026. for this podcast in general. I think we're going to get even more traction. And yeah, that's all I got. I'm tired.
I am too. So on that note,
Yeah.
holler at a player when you see me in the streets. Ah, yeah.